Zach Bryan's image may never recover after this breakup from Brianna Chickenfry because there has been so much said. People are calling out his pattern of behavior. Dave Portnoy is coming out to call him out. So we are going to spill on everything that is going on right now. The Brianna Chickenfry and Zach Bryan breakup has been an ongoing story making headlines, and now Brianna has come out to share her story of what it was like dating Zach, and she wasn't holding back. She had Josh and Dave by her side as she exposed the ugly truth behind their relationship. If you guys haven't heard by now, Grammy-winning singer Zach Bryan and influencer Brianna Chickenfry broke up 2 weeks ago after over a year of dating. The sudden breakup was announced shortly after Zach was seen on the dating app Raya, and he deactivated his Instagram and then came back the next day to share on Instagram that they had in fact broken up. Brianna shared that she was completely blindsided by the post, sharing her own on Instagram and then a YouTube video where she was quite emotional, saying that they did in fact break up and it was just the night before and she could not believe what was happening.
I'm at the point where it's like, how can you give someone everything and like love them so unconditionally, like through stuff that you shouldn't, because you just love them and you want them, like you see the good in them. Like how can you, this is so embarrassing. I don't give a fuck. How can you like give every ounce of yourself to someone and then like be discarded of in a few days? It's really, really heartbreaking.
In the days that followed, people had been looking into Zach's past relationships, calling out a pattern of behavior of getting a dog, buying a house, and breaking up after about a year together. He was once married to a woman named Rose. They married in July of 2020, and their marriage lasted about a year, and then they divorced in 2021. After his divorce, Zach dated Deb. They dated for over a year before announcing their breakup in May of 2023. He met Brianna that same month, and the two were confirmed to be dating by July 2023. The two rode out controversies together as Zach found himself in a number of online drama with his tweets, often deactivating his accounts and apologizing on Instagram after he would get hit with tons of backlash. And Brianna has been in a number of controversies as well. More recently, too, people have called her out for being a bad friend to her co-host Grace, feeling like Zach came in between them, and they also just didn't love some of the takes that she had on her podcast recently. But following the breakup, more has been revealed, including the fact that fans were right in thinking that Zach did come between Grace and Brie. Though Brianna had tried to deny it, fans could see, especially when Grace recently celebrated her birthday and Brianna neglected to post and was absent from the celebration, people were like, something's up with these two. They're not the same as they used to be. Brianna defended her silence, writing on Instagram saying, "I haven't had TikTok in months, but apparently all anyone does on there is talk about my life. So here you go. I'm not interested in sharing my personal relationships online anymore because the internet wants so badly to ruin them all. Grace has been like a sister since I was 15 years old. I wished her a happy birthday privately. I'm sorry, but I'm having a week from hell and I'm tired of having to feel the need to explain myself to people who don't know me. Love you guys, and that's all there is to it. Not allowing the internet to take over my personal relationships anymore. Need to set some boundaries and keep some things for myself." Grace ended up posting days later, opening up about the fact that there have been struggles between her and Brie. She specifically used this photo of her and Zach Bryan when she was talking about it too. She said, "Now that I have your attention, this last year and however many has been quite the whirlwind for Brianna and I's friendship. Yes, there's no denying that, but I wouldn't feel right if I didn't at least ask nicely for you guys to please give her the space and time that she needs to move on and heal." It was clear Zach tried to come in between all of Brianna's relationships, and none of her friends seemed to like him. Dave Portnoy made that very clear that he did not like Zach after the breakup, going on a podcast to talk about Zach and his character.
I was never a liker. How do you like that? I was never a liker. I think he's a fraud. I like every time I met him, I was not comfortable with him. Like he doesn't push quite easy. No, there's certain guys where you're like, okay, I kind of like this guy. He's a good vibe guy. This guy never gave that vibe to me. And there's a story.
Did you tell Brie that at the time?
I think Brie knew I didn't like him, but I know.
Tough spot though, Whit. Tough spot.
Yeah, like they broke up prior to this.
Publicly like this?
And it seemed just as bad, and then they were back together.
You hate the guy though.
I'm not a fan.
So Dave was not holding back whatsoever when it came to going off on Zach following the breakup. And him and Josh Richards took things to the next level when they dropped a diss track on Zach this week. The song was called Smallest Man, and the lyrics were going in on Zach, calling him out for being a cheater, a drunk, and so much more. People told them that they should tag Zach in their post. Someone said, "Y'all aren't even brave enough to tag him in the picture," to which Brianna said, "We are all blocked." In the song, they sing, "I said, trust me, call your pants on fire, Tinder Bumble Raya, knew you was a liar, you just made a new rival, pretty soon you're gonna need a revival." They paid reference to his song, "I Remember Everything," with the line, "You say you remember everything, I guess not because you forgot about your wedding ring." And at one point, Dave even calls out Zach for trying to split up Bree and Grace, making it known once again that he was in fact trying to come between them. Dave also made a comment about Zach having kicked out his dog Peaches from the dressing room one time, which people were like, wait, what? We need the tea, because everyone loves Dave's dog Peaches, and to hear this was alarming.
Dave just throws in he kicked Peaches out of the dressing room. I was like, wait, what the hell? Like as we're doing the end of the song.
Explain that.
We went to the concert and it was, I think, Boston's birthday.
It was Boston's birthday.
You had never met Peaches, so I'm like, can I bring Peaches? Like, yeah, let's have the dogs meet, all this stuff.
And of course, I asked Zach, I'm like, can Miss Peaches come? Is that okay? Yes. Green light, green light, green light.
Boston and Jack are in there. It's a birthday party. I brought little hats. I brought little cakes for the dogs.
But so cute.
During the concert, you go in and out. So Peaches is in the dressing room. Peaches is the least maintenance dog, other than she'll try to get into stuff. She's as chill as can be, but it's Peaches. So I'm walking back and forth to make sure she's okay. I walked in back to check on her, and he's just bringing her to this little band dressing room. And he's kind of like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind. I'm just moving Peaches." What am I going to say? I'm like, okay. But like, I have no idea to this day why he wants to get Peaches out of that locker room, and why, like, the other locker room was actually sort of dangerous for her because there was so much equipment and like crap laying around that I like needed to watch her. I don't know why he did that, but it like pissed me off greatly in the moment.
But the song ends with a reference to Zach's song 28, as Josh and Dave sing how lucky is Bree to be free of ZB and his STDs. Brianna shouted these two out on Instagram for the song by saying, "Good night, you two are absolutely bat-ish crazy, but I do pray my daughter has friends like you both one day." Now, they have been struggling to keep the song from getting copyright claimed because Josh actually forgot that he had a record deal, so he can't put out music independently, and it turned into this whole situation. They at first thought that Zach was trying to get the song blocked and copyright claimed and taken down, but it turned out that it was because Josh forgot he had a record deal. But everyone has responded very well to this song. I'm sure Zach is fuming, but everybody else seems to love it. Brianna also posted a photo of a cake that had the name of the diss track on it, and the other cake said, "For Bree, Deb, and Rose." Since this, though, Brianna said that she was going to be opening up more about her relationship with Zach, posting a video on TikTok ahead of the BFFs podcast episode, where she said, "These sad clips are from video diaries I made for myself during my relationship to try and rewatch and get myself to leave. The clips in between are me on my tour silently holding it together for my friends and fans because the show must go on. Tonight's episode of BFFs may be triggering for some, but it's important. And to be honest, I'm terrified of it coming out. I'm sorry I lost myself this year, and I'm sorry to the people who I love and love me that I let down. If you're going through something similar, you have me. If I can do it in front of the world, so can you. Our worlds will keep spinning. No love given is love lost. Can't wait to grow from this with you all." And on the BFFs podcast this week, she was fully opening up about the relationship.
I want it to be known that I understand people break up and like, that's okay. This isn't a breakup. Like, I went through a traumatic year of emotional abuse and I got broken up with over the phone. He left, never saw me again, posted it on Instagram, made a raya, and like publicly humiliated me, then called me to say it's all my fault. Like, this isn't me being like, I dated a douchebag that like cheated on me at the bar. No, this is something so much deeper than that.
She explained that she was offered a lot of money in order to stay silent about everything.
Basically, I would have gotten the money over the course of 3 years. I would have had to sign all of my experiences, everything that I am, away to this person. They would have been monitoring everything that I do. And at the end of the 3 years, I'll receive like that big lump sum of money, like throughout the years. I thought about it for a second, and I think they tend to forget, I started to forget, that I was someone, I was established, I was successful before him. I'm gonna be someone, I'm gonna be established, I'm gonna be successful after him, and I don't want blood money, and I don't think you can pay people off that you hurt for them to protect you.
It was later revealed in the podcast that it was $12 million he was offering her to sign this NDA. She turned down $12 million because she wanted her story told.
Brianna was offered basically a payout to sign an NDA to not talk about the breakup, things that happened, and it's a ton. $12 million is what it ended up being. And I was going back and forth with her a lot.
Me and Dave even texted and it was like, we can't tell Bri not to.
I don't want your money. Like, I don't want a settlement. I don't know who you think I am, but that's not me. And then it was a back and forth. His team would call me. They gave me all these options. They started low. Then they went up to 10 million. Then they went up to 12 million. Then they wanted to give me a house. Then they wanted to give me a New York apartment. Then they wanted to do all these things. That was his final shot at still controlling me and controlling my life with that money, and with him being able to walk away like, I did a good thing. You know, I gave her all this money. Who cares about everything I did? She's gonna have cash in the bank. You don't just get to dump and shit on people for a year, give them millions of dollars and walk away like, I'm the hero. She's gonna be taken care of for life. I'm gonna be taken care of for life regardless because I'm me. The thing, they try to scare, like, they kept just trying to scare me. And they even got me, like, scared me into wanting to sign it. I never wanted to sign it. And then he was like, well, then we're going to war and all this.
That's the classic lawyer move. That's the classic.
Totally. No, him.
They think that they're like the scariest people in the world, and they're not.
No,
I'm like,
it's
what are
all
we going to
threats.
go to war? What is your ammo? Like, what are we going to war about? All I ever did was be a fool and love you.
Yeah,
I don't
and it's what we said.
She went on to say that in their relationship, she really put her life on hold for him. She planned her whole tour schedule around him. She went on tour with him and really just said no to a lot of things because she wanted to be there. It was a sacrifice that she was making for their relationship, thinking that they were going to be together in the long run. But ultimately, when it was time for her to be doing her things, it was not okay with him.
I lost myself. Like, everything I did in the back of my head, I had, is Zach going to be mad?
Right.
Is there going to be a reaction to this? Like, I have to make sure everything I do isn't going to cause eggshells.
And I didn't know this when we negotiated your last, and this is all I found out post, when we negotiated like your renewal, that he wanted to pay you more than we were going to pay you just not to work.
Yeah, he offered to double what you offered me so that I would quit. I love my job. I love what I do. I love who I am. Like, you're not going to take everything away from me.
And there's so many people that are praising her for the fact that she wanted to tell her story, that she was not silenced in this.
Always another excuse as to why he was treating me so poorly and why I'm crying myself to sleep every night, why he's screaming at me. Like, and then you wake up, it's the apology, it's the I'm going to be better, like, I need you in my life. But if you've been through this, I don't know, like, I don't expect people to understand emotional abuse if you haven't been through it. And I hope you never have to go through it. But if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And it was just this constant cycle of, like, build you up, beat you down, apologize over and over and over.
So Brianna was not going to be silenced in all of this. She wanted everybody to know what went on behind closed doors.
One morning, like, we were out the night before, and one morning I, like, woke up, or I was, like, scrolling TikTok, and last night we let the liquor talk was stuck in my head. And I walk up the stairs in the New York apartment and I'm singing, like, I'm about to, like, make breakfast or something. I'm like, last night we let the liquor talk. He freaked out. Like, freaked the out. He could not believe you're singing another man's song under my roof in this house that I owned. Like, it was a fight for, I think, a week. I was, like, not really allowed to listen to Noah Kahan. I listened to him too much.
I thought they were friends.
I thought I was friends with Zach too.
She did discuss her friendships as well, knowing a lot of people have commented on what's gone on in her life in that department.
If there's no Zach Bryan, you and Grace friendship probably is in a better spot than it is currently. But how are you guys doing?
Good. We're texting last night. She loved the diss track. No, me and Grace will always be fine. There's something huge in this, which kind of, like, demolished our relationship. For my birthday, Zach got a house for, like, my family and I, and all my friends in New Hampshire. He gets there and he's all kind of weird. He's acting funny. He just starts doing what he does, like throwing jabs. And I'm, like, throwing jabs at my friends and, like, calling people idiots. And, like, I'm like, okay, it's 11:30. I'm going to go to bed. He doesn't follow me. I go upstairs. I go to sleep and I wake up, like, probably an hour and a half later to, like, screaming. It's like all my girlfriends crying and they're all, like, in it. So I'm like, what the happened? What's going on? And then I look outside and I have my aunt, like, trying to control Zach. And there's a recording of all of this that can never be out. Basically, Zach we're all hanging around the fire, and I guess he stood up at the fire and just starts screaming at my friends, "You're not going to be anything. You're a loser." Like, just the most horrible shit. Like, "You're never going to make it. Like, you live off of other people." Like, just crazy out of nowhere. Ever since then, it was just awful. And Zach, every night, like, I would be trying to go to sleep on the bus, and he would just come in and just start recording me and be like, are you, is it okay if I'm recording you, since your friends record me and everyone around you records me all the time? And he would just record. I have the craziest videos. Maybe that's why the $12 million is involved, because I have a lot of shit that I'm never going to put out there because it's embarrassing for me.
So Brianna also revealed what happened at the Golden Globes, because fans who pay close attention to Zach and Brianna's relationship, or just the BFFs podcast in general, noticed that when she was at the Golden Globes, Zach had unfollowed her, and they wanted to know what kind of went down there.
That was the first time, like, he had really tried to control what I wore or like what I posted. So I went to the Golden Globes and I posted like a carousel of pictures, and he didn't like my dress. He said he didn't want to like date someone that like presents themselves that way, and he unfollowed me. He unfollowed everyone. And when I flew home, like I flew home after the Golden Globes, he ruined my night. Anything good I did for me, he made sure to ruin it for me. He ruined my birthday. He ruined my tour. He ruined the Golden Globes. Anything Brianna did for Brianna, he had to ruin it. Cherry on the top of all of that was he reposted that picture of me on his story and was like, "You are so beautiful."
While freaking out behind the scenes.
And unfollowing all of us and unfollowing me.
Though not everyone has been nice, the majority of the comments have been really there for Bri, praising her for coming out and talking about Zach, exposing his behavior. And people have also praised Josh and Dave for being there for her in this way. And I mean, the diss track alone won them so many points. But that's what's been said about Zach Bryan recently, all that has unfolded since his breakup from Brianna. I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.